What's up, everyone? It's me, your host, Victor Herrera, and we have got a lot of golf to talk about. As always, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just the side that people don't really want to talk about. But we're going to jump in straight to it. You're listening to the Three Putt Golf Show presented to you by Legacy Maker Sports Network. A lot of things are going on in the golf world and a lot of things that people just don't want to talk about, to be honest. I want to start not with last week's tournament. I don't want to start there. I want to start with this whole ordeal with the Saudi Arabian LIV League opening tour tournament and these 30-something PGA players who have asked for a release from the PGA to be able to play, and they are being denied. Look, I get it. You don't want to lose some of the top people on tour, some of the top people in the world of golf to a rival league. I get it, especially after all the comments and after all the way things have gone about. I understand. But I think this is a bad look for the PGA. I really do. I feel you now show you will not bow down to that other league. And I get it. I see it. That I guess that's your way of seeing it. But I also see you are now monopolizing the golf world. You are now not allowing players the opportunity to kind of venture out and see what's best for their interest. Now, it's no secret. The only way you make money on the tour is if you are within the top certain amount of players in the world. And I mean, if you aren't at the top, then you're not making money. That's just plain simple. You have to win, make cuts, make places in order to make money. And it doesn't get any easier than that. Like, it's very simple. But a lot of these guys are out there grinding. And one of our fan favorites here is going to be Sahith Theegala, out there continuously grinding week after week. And, this could be a good opportunity for somebody like him. But because comments were made and feelings are hurt, you're going to deny everybody that opportunity. And I get it. There's times where tournaments like these happen and they're little one-off tournaments, and they do and have given them the release in the past. But because it's Greg Norman, because of Phil Mickelson's comments, because of so many players already kind of showing that they want to be over there, they're saying no. And I just don't agree with that. I'm more of if you don't like it here, you think the grass is better on the other side, then go out there and get it. I mean, one of the players that is asking for it is Sergio Garcia. This past week in Potomac, Maryland at the Wells Fargo Championship, he had a dispute with the rules official and straight up said, I can't wait to leave this tour. He said that on camera as loud as can be. He wanted everybody to hear it. And there's no question as to where he's planning on going. I mean, that made it very clear that he does, in fact, intend on going over there. Well, now with the release, you kind of are going to either have to just sacrifice your whole PGA Tour status just to go and see how that league takes off, which is a big risk. And that's kind of why they've done it this way, because it's going to be a risk that I don't feel a lot of players are going to be wanting to take, because it's going to jeopardize a lot of money. It's going to jeopardize their world golf rankings. There's a lot at stake for a possible one-off tournament with the Greg Norman Saudi Arabian League, but it could always go better than the PGA, and it could always lead to more and more players shifting away from the PGA. But this was a bad move by the PGA, I feel. Look, I get you've built something here. You've made something for these people. But then at the same time, people got to have free will. They have to. If they truly believe it's better on the other side, then let them see. And then they're going to come running back. Now, if it is better on the other side, then maybe you need to change things up. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and see, okay, well, why is everybody leaving? What can I do to bring people back? What can I do to grow the game of golf? And what can I do to help piece together what we have? That's all it is. This is a chance for the PGA to reinvent themselves. And it's an exciting time, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen because of the path they're choosing. They're choosing, like I said, to monopolize this golf world rather than, hey, you can go test the waters, but you'll be back. And if not, I'm going to make it to where you do come back. My league will be the best. But that's my little rant. I'm not at all happy at the way things have gone with the PGA and this whole debacle. I feel for Phil Mickelson. I mean, the dude basically is having his legacy tarnished all because of some comments. And I don't think that's right, nor do I think that's fair. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm sure you go to work and I'm sure you have a couple of choice words for your boss, especially when things you feel could be ran better aren't being ran to that level. He's just another person. He just has a bigger platform, and he was using it to try to bring awareness, but it got taken out of context, which he has to be more careful of. But the PGA denied all players of the release. So no players can be released for the one tournament to start the Saudi Arabian tour. Greg Norman did answer back and fire back and said, you're creating a monopoly, man. Like you're not doing you're doing the exact opposite of what people expect you to do and what we think is right. And then the bad news just got worse for Greg Norman, to be honest. He applied to play in the Open Championship and he was denied. And it has no doubt it comes from this rival golf tour. It really does stem from this. There's no doubt about it. And it sucks, but I mean, if you are ready to play big ball and step up to the plate, then you have to be ready and step up to the plate. It'll be interesting to see as this continues to unfold. I mean, this story is not going to die anytime soon. I highly doubt Greg Norman's just going to roll over. And I highly doubt some of these players, especially like a Sergio Garcia, that just is like, I'm done. I want out. I highly doubt they're just going to let it happen. They're going to get out. They're going to go, regardless if that means that they got to lose their status on the PGA Tour. I mean, he's won a Masters, so he has that under his belt. So he can always play in the Masters, but he has a lot of success where for somebody like him, I don't think it would necessarily matter what he loses because he's going to get to go and do something different somewhere. He's going to feel more appreciated, I imagine. Now, to talk about a very messy situation, and that was the Wells Fargo Championship at Potomac, Maryland. And holy heck, guys, this thing was as wet as a water park in the summer. I'm kid you not. It was raining cats and dogs. These guys were out there struggling. You could see it. Jason Day was a leader after day one. His swing was perfect even after day two, but day three just couldn't get it going, and he dropped well out of contention just in one day. It really came down to if you've practiced in rain, if you've ever played in rain, and how well you knew to go about things in rain, because a lot of these guys, some of them didn't have that many gloves in their bag. But you could tell, especially like a Max Homa who went on to win, spoiler alert, he had a whole 5-gallon Ziploc bag full of gloves. I mean, he was well prepared for the situation. He knew what was going to happen. He'd play with one for a little bit. Once it started getting wet, take it off, hang it up under the umbrella, let it dry out, give me another one. He was well aware. But on the bright side, we got to see some golf. And it's always good when we get to see golf. But I'll tell you this, man, the weather really affected that play. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. Jason Day probably wins that tournament if it's clear. Hands down. The dude was playing on fire. His swing was perfect. He was so into his swing. He knew everything in and out about his swing. He was ready to win. And the rain costed him. Now, I won't say the rain because he obviously had to pay and he obviously had to make the shots and he couldn't make the shots, but the rain was the reason why Jason Day didn't win. And I know I had picked Rory McIlroy, and he suffered from the rain too. But bottom line, it wasn't a great tournament because of the rain, but it was a good tournament because we got to see people stick it through. I'm never a fan of watching somebody play bad. I'm never a fan. But being able to see somebody play through it and be able to overcome the adversity, I am a fan of, and that's exactly what we got to see. Now, like I said, there was times where guys were absolutely playing terrible, and it was like, man, I feel for this guy. He's playing on TV. Millions are watching him play this way. When I play that bad, it's only like 4 other people see me play that way. But it's also remarkable when you get like a Max Homa, who went on to win at 8 under. Keegan Bradley was the leader heading into the final day, but with the continued moisture, scores never got too low. They got to about 10, and then when everybody started realizing what the rain was doing that second day, it kind of froze up. Like, as long as you could either maintain where you were or get 1 or 2 under, then you were good. But that wasn't the case, because a lot of them 4 or 5 over was exactly happening, and it ruined a lot of people's weeks. I mean, Tony Finau, another fan favorite here, he was sitting somewhat in contention after the first day, but he had another slow start. The second day, it kind of just, you knew what was going to happen because of the rain. You just kind of had an idea of how this was going to take place. But Keegan Bradley was the leader. Max Homa took it from him. Max Homa, he just played consistently, y'all. If you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He made the shots when they needed to count. Out of bunkers on 13, he made these putts that really needed to go in, and he made them count. He made every shot count. As soon as cliche as that sounds, that's exactly what it took to win in ugly conditions like this past weekend. He took full advantage of hitting the fairways. He took full advantage of everything that came about in this tournament with the conditions. He went on to say he had practiced, he played growing up in rain. Like he knew what to kind of do and expect. And it made sense because, like I said, he had a whole gallon size bag full of gloves. He had different hats. He had everything ready to go to make sure he was able to perform at his very best that tournament. It was his 4th win on tour. You know, just a couple of years ago, this guy was ranked in the thousands on the World Golf rankings. It wasn't that long ago until he started his rise up, and now it's his 4th win, clinched his spot for the Masters next year with that win, and he is on track of doing something special because, I mean, you get hot right around this time. You got the Byron Nelson this week, but next week you got a PGA Championship. You got another major on the line. If you get hot at the right time, things can go good for you. And we very well could see that for Max Homa. He just is playing with that confidence, with that instinct to go out there and get it done. He's fully capable of doing something special. On the notables mentions list, we have Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler made the longest bogey recorded in the PGA, and that was at 134 yards. He definitely just won hop and stop and roll into the cup for a bogey. Lost his drive off the tee into the hazard, and I mean, it was a very unconventional way of getting a bogey, but he got it. But this is the thing with Ricky Fowler. I've talked about him. He's missed his chances at majors. He hasn't done good in a couple of years, and he didn't look that bad this week. He did not. He actually looked like he was getting something better with his game, made the cut, made a good finish. He looks like he's slowly coming back. I don't want to jinx him now. I do not want to jinx him, but he looks like he may be trending in the right direction for us. And I'm super excited because everything's better when Ricky Fowler's playing good. The colors, the hats, the shoes, the joggers, everything is better when he is playing lights out. And if we can just get that back, it would be one of them special moments to see him actually get a major. This week, they were at the AT&T Byron Nelson tournament in Fort Worth, Texas. You know, the purse is $9.1 million, and the winner is going to get a little over $1.5 million of that. And it's a really good person. You know, a lot of the times this Byron Nelson tournament can really get a lot of good things going. One thing I will tell you, world number one Scotty Scheffler's in the field, and he's playing lights out. He's playing good. That apparently in practice rounds, he's definitely on his A game. He's getting things going, and he doesn't look like he's lost anything in his step since the Masters win. Another notable in the field that has won the Byron Nelson, who plays extremely well in Texas, is the Texas man himself, Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth is coming back to the field, and since his win at the RBC Heritage Classic, and you know, last time we saw him, we thought it was going to be another couple of weeks until he was able to get his swing in line, because he's going through this swing transition, but it didn't take long at all. He won that week. Now, given them, he missed the cut at the Masters, but we thought it was still a long way until he would figure out his swing. But he was able to get that win in a playoff, and he's able to get things going for his short game, but his drives are more consistent, and that's kind of what inhabited the whole swing transition. But that short game and bunker play, absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be very interesting how he does coming out from that break. I'm going to tell you right now, my pick. He is due. He is really due for a win. And I think if he wants to have a really good shot at getting a major next week at Southern Hills in Oklahoma, he needs to win this week. If he doesn't win this week, it's going to be very tough. My pick for the AT&T Byron Nelson 2022 is Justin Thomas. You heard it. Justin Thomas is my pick. He is well overdue, y'all. He's had some putting issues just like Tony Finau's had. He's had the driving issues like Jordan Spieth had until he figured it out. He's had these issues with his golf game. But he's right at the cusp of getting it turned around. And if he wants to win a major next week, he has to win here. He has to get this confidence. A second place finish, a playoff loss finish will not get it done for him. He needs to win this tournament. And he can. He can play well here. I think he will play well. Weather's supposed to be good. Conditions are supposed to be really good. As long as he can make his putts early and make them within the 3 to 5 foot range what Tony Finau was missing and what he has missed as of a lot lately. If he can do that, he'll be well in contention in this tournament. He is my pick to win this tournament. Now, I do want to tell you, I have a very surprise pick to finish top 10, and it's because he has played well at courses like this one, and that is Sahith Theegala, the fan favorite of the show. I think he's going to finish top 10. I'm not going to put no money on it, but I don't put money on anything because I don't want to jinx nobody. But Justin Thomas, Sahith Theegala are my two favorites at the AT&T Byron Nelson, and they can get it done, y'all. They are, and it's anybody's tournament. I mean, I'm going to just put it straight. Anybody goes out there, has a good couple of days, they can be in contention. But Justin Thomas has everything it takes to win, and Justin Thomas has everything to be very competitive and really know how to take that momentum into next week. Yes, Scotty Scheffler, world number one, is going to be there, but, you know, I still can't jump on the bandwagon. Like, he's number one. He won a Masters. I get it. He's a Texas boy too. So, like, I root for him, but, you know, there's always somebody out there that can beat you. And I think this week it is Justin Thomas's week. And Justin Thomas, be ready, man, because it is your week. You have to go get this win to give yourself a legit chance at the PGA Championship next week at Southern Hills in Oklahoma. Well, thank y'all for listening to the 3-Putt Golf Show. If you have any questions, you want to talk golf, go to our socials. Well, we always have links posted. You can go on there, comment, and let's have a discussion about things. Check out Legacy Maker Sports Network for all these basketball playoffs. And we're going to have a hockey article dropping whenever the Stanley Cup comes. Check us out. Pass us to a friend. We're starting to get really good collaborations with a lot of schools on the East Coast. So get in while we're young, because you're going to miss you want to be there for the ride. You don't want to miss it. But y'all stay